What is the plan for those young people of a boom of 49% in the next Sanja?
Mr. Nyangweso, Orumusa Musamia, Oriotie,
Ndio, Olibulai,
Nimulai,
Abengo,
Abengo Balai. We are speaking our language, which these people don't understand. The answer to your question is what we have told you, and I would like anybody who has got contrary opinion to oppose it. We have told you repeatedly that the answer for all Ugandans for livelihood are the 4 sectors. Nyangweso wulidde munange sectors ennya: obubondo, obuna. Mukamereza muzikola, oba zikola munkwate, ate anampakanya aveyo tuwakane. There is no other way except the 4 sectors. Sector 1, commercial agriculture with the Chivaro. If you have got land, if you want to get out of poverty, route number 1 to get out of poverty is to engage in commercial agriculture with the Chivaro. And we have told you repeatedly how that should be. Sector 2, manufacturing and artisanship. That is the second sector. Third sector, services, hotels, tourism, transport, rumor mongering like you people here. Somebody lives by rumor mongering. This is a service. Nyangweso is picking rumors from here, taking them around that he's informing us. Most of the time he's misinforming us. But we pay you. That Nyangweso is paid for Oksakama Uri. Oksakama Uri, no Bulimba Bionana Sakan Netumusasura. Services. Sector 3. Sector 4, it is really part of Sector 3, but I like to put it separate. ICT. There is, for instance, a sector known as, an activity known as BPOs, business processes outsourcing. Somebody can be an auditor here or an accountant, and he gets assignment from Canada, a company in Canada. They send you their books here. You arrange them properly as an accountant should do, and you send them back, and they pay you. So this is the 4th sector. ICT, number 1. Services, number 2. Manufacturing and artisanship, number 3. Commercial agriculture, number 4. There is no other way. If anybody tells you there's another way of how the young, whether you are young or old or ancient or modern, these are the 4. If there's anybody who knows another sector, I have forgotten. Of course, there is government service, public service, but it is also a service. You hear they call it public service. There is also political service, politicians. That is also a service. But the problem with the public service is that the jobs are very limited. The whole public service is 480,000. All of them, soldiers, policemen, spies, rumor mongers working for the government, corrupt civil servants, all of them together, 480,000. Population of Uganda is 46 million. How can the government be a solution? It's not a solution. That's why we've been telling you that even where we are now, manufacturing is employing 1.2 million people. That is almost 3 times compared to what the government is employing. Services are employing 5 million people. The agriculture is employing 3.6 million. But I have told you, I've given the example of Nyakana of Fort Portal, who is using 1 acre in commercial agriculture with the Chivaro, and he's getting very good money, and he's employing 15 people. And I've told you that if people with 1 acre, 7 million of them, if each one employed 15 people, we would create 105 million jobs. More jobs than all the Ugandans. And it can happen. That's what happens to you people when you go to China, to Japan, to do HAU. You get jobs which the Japanese are not doing. They don't have enough people to do those jobs. Here we can do it here. If you listen to our message, the 4 sectors, I challenge anybody in Uganda, abroad, or wherever, tell me the other sector which I have forgotten. And wherever the sector, you tell me. Challenge them. You put it on the radio and say, Museveni has challenged the people. If you know another sector has forgotten, bring it up. So, this is the answer for you, those young people. When you say young people, I am a former young person. Don't you see me here? Young people. We have seen young people since time immemorial. I am a former young person. So I know how to be young, I know how to be middle age, I now know also how to be old. I know everything. So, please, when you find our children going to Dubai, what are you going to do in Dubai? Eh? Here we have got more potential for more jobs than the Dubais can have. Eh? We've got everything here. Muleke obugagga wano ne mugendeyo okukola ng'abaddu gye mugenda. Nze sifuluma. There's UN now. There's something UN is going on. Nze ndi wano mbyange. Fortunately, I've got my young people. They are there in the UN. I can send you there to the UN. Nze ndi wano. Okay, how many remaining?
Owekitiibwa President, Shamshad Naluja.
The other man, Julius Muchunguzi, is now doing some work. He has been around for some time, rumor mongering. Ani muzukuru?
Nalongo Shamshad Naluja, okuva ku Bukedde TV. Olw'abantu bawansi ngenda kozesa Luganda. Kati ekibuuzo kyange kiri abasawo, ku muwendo gw'abasawo gwe tulina mutono ddala, naddala basawo abalabirira abaana abazaalibwa nga tebannatuuka, ekiviirako ba mothers abamu okufiirwa abaana baabwe oba oluusi n'obulamu bwabwe, n'ebiba byennyini incubators eziteekebwamu abaana bano nga baakazaalibwa tuyina ntono naddala mu government facilities. Mu kino ekisanja ekitandika, Mr. President, ogenda kukola atya ensonga eno okulaba ng'ogitereeza bulungi?
To explain where I may have to use English, Narongo will have to forgive me.
It's okay, Mr. President.
Because the NRM health plan is integrated. Because we came from the rural areas when we were fighting. That's why we started with prevention. But some people don't concentrate on it. And the prevention meant you take the health care up to the sub-county. Have a health center 3 there. That health center does immunization, which is doing very well. That's why you are all here. You show me an NRM child who is lame because of polio. Because of the immunization. And this is just one element of prevention, just immunization. But the problem is that you don't listen to the message of the NRM. Suppose you added nutrition, just educating the people what to eat, what to eat, what to eat, what to eat. And you added hygiene, and you added careful lifestyle. You don't go for alcohol, you don't go for umaraya. And we dealt with malaria, sleeping under the bed nets. How many diseases would remain? Because most of the diseases are covered. Now, the obstetrics you are talking about, if you go to the health center 3, if you do antenatal, they call it antenatal, they would have seen your baby inside the womb, how the baby is. But people don't do that. So, when we started, the health center 3 was supposed to be 1 per sub-county. At that time, we had like 2,000 sub-counties. I'm sure I have not checked. But if you check, you may find that all the old sub-counties already now have health center 3, the old ones. The ones they say don't have are the new ones. I will check it, I will check it. And the reason we selected the sub-county is that it is because I know what a sub-county is. I know the ones of Ankorea, I know the ones in Ruero here, like Semuto, Gobakuzarawa, Nalongo.
Masaka Sera.
Masaka sijimanyi bulungi abana buddu abo nabayita mbuyisi. Na Ruero, jemanyi. If you take like Semuto sub-county, from Semuto to the boundary with Makurubita, just 2 miles, Maware. From there to the boundary with Kapeka, like 3 miles. So the reason we said health center 3 at the sub-county, you could even walk to the sub-county. You didn't even have to use means. But people don't concentrate on this. They don't listen. They don't. So if there was this proper antenatal, a lot of those problems could be avoided. But I have heard your statement about the premature and the incubators and all that. I will check. That one I don't want to talk about what I'm not sure about.
Thank you so much.
But I can tell you, if we use the prevention, you get rid of 70% of the sicknesses. The last one.
Neyanza nyo His Excellency amanya nze mwesigwa David nga nkola ne Galaxy TV mugwo mukaga lwe nali mu State House. His Excellency natusa report je wali nga nkugamba nti amalwaliro naddala ery'emukono Kayunga ne Namuganga Health Center 3 mulimu obuze bugamba nti mu ddwaliro ly'emukono General Hospital abakazi bazaalira wansi n'abazadde ku ssaawa 9 bwe zituuka ssaawa 10 kibakakatako kubagamba muveeyo ku bitanda mugende ebweru ne weekanga omwana eyazaddwa ng'ali mu mbeera ennungi ng'afunye ammonia kusinziira ku mpewo gy'aba afunye ebweru. Ne nkuleetera ripoota endala, Kayunga General Hospital oxygen plants zaazikira kati tutemwaka mulamba n'ekitundu. Ne nkuleetera Namuganga Health Center 3 nti eddwaliro ddamba lirina abasawo 4 naye weekend tekola. His Excellency n'osuubiza nti ogenda kukikwatako naye since then ne kaakati tetulabangako kigenda mu maaso. Abakazi bakyeyongera kuzaalira wansi, ekyo kimu. Ekyokubiri, weeyongeddeko n'omuze nti omwana omukazi eyandibadde n'amaanyi agazaala kimukakatako kumusindika mu operation bokusobola kweyolera omusimbi. Kyesitegeera obunafu his excellency buli side ki buli eri Ministry of Health, eri abakulira amalwaliro oba mu ba RDC and DSOs. Eyanza nnyo Mr. Excellency.
Simanyi oba amanyago ani?
Amanya nze Mwesigwa David nga nkola ne Galaxy TV.
Simanyi oba Mwesigwa onampayiriza simanyi. Kubanga sitera kwerabira, but I don't remember very well. But fortunately now, totumye wetuukidde Mwesigwa kati. Nabanja lyawo. Nabanja yingira mu nsonga ya Mwesigwa munange ontwase Mwesigwa. Kubanga oba mpayirizo kubanga sibijjukira bulungi. But Mwesigwa, you see what you are saying, omanyize kindabye wano mu Uganda kunyooma. Simanyi okunyooma, obutafaayo, obutawuliriza. Mwesigwa sooka owulirize onakolagana ne Nabanja oluvannyuma. Simanyi oba kunyooma oba ki, kubanga owulira Mwesigwa byagamba. Omujjuzo oguli mu district hospital, Mukono gyagamba is already a district hospital. Kayunga is a district hospital. The plan was decentralize all those problems to the health center 3, so that you have got less numbers. Omujjuzo ogwo ebitanda biweddewo okusola ku lubalaza okuzaala in the veranda. It's because the plan was never listened to. Because how many people are giving birth in a sub-county? They are not the same numbers when you gather to, you bring all the Bakunja, you bring all the other people, they all come to Mukono. The number is bigger. So there's some issue of discipline. Mulago here, Mulago is supposed to be a referral hospital. But people turned it into a primary health care hospital. Owomusujja wekidukano agenda Mulago. Even when we built Kawempe, we built this other one, Chirudu, said, Mutanikireyo, bonna. So the issue of discipline, discipline. I think also the leaders don't insist. Because if there was, you count how many health centers I will check when I come in the afternoon on the rally. I will talk about it. How many health centers we have now? Do you know?
Your Excellency, we have 1,553 health centers, please. 1,500.
And how many were the old sub-counties?
They were less than 1,000.
No, they were like 1,200.
And then we have 230 health center 4s. Because where we put a health center 3, where we have a health center 4, we don't put health center 3. So if you add 1,500 health center 3s, then 2,030 health center 4s, that gives you 1,700 sub-counties, each with a health unit.
Yes. Yes. So I can conclude here, Mwesigwa, and all of you, by giving you example of our time. Mom and myself, we were born in a place called Ruhama. Ruhama was together with Rwampara. They were one. It was all called Rwampara. Now that time, what they were calling a dispensary, what you can call Health Center 3, was only one in Chinoni. Now Chinoni is 25 miles from Ntungamo, where we were born, and is 15 miles from Barara. And Rwampara would go from Barara on the way to Kabare up to mile 48. And we had only one health center, equivalent of one health center city. The ones over Wampara, Muizi, Bugamba, Biaranga can check for me later on, you tell me how many health center cities are in Rampara. The old Rampara, which was Rampara Rahama, how many are there now? I know that in our time it was one. So that was our strategy. Have more health centers so that you deal with all the prevention there. What should be going to the district hospital should be, we even provided for surgery at the health center 4. Surgery at health center 4. But they don't use it. Babuka. So they all come and... Thank you so much.
You asked for 6, and the last one is this one.
Oh.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Erios Namugambe. I work with Channel 44. I will also ask mine in Luganda.
Okay.
Echange chikwata ku byanjigiriza. Wayogedde ku byenjigiriza ebyobwerere bye wateekawo naddala mu masomero aga primary. Naye mangi ku masomero gano mu byalo eyeewala abaana basomera wansi mu miti. Ate n'abasomesa ennaku zino babadde beekalakaasa nga tebasasulwa ssente bulungi netono ze balina obbasasula ate kumpi balina zikubira bikonde tebazifuna. Abaana bangi ennaku zino tebakyasoma abali mu byalo. Ogenda kukola otya mu kisanja kino okulaba ng'ensonga eno egonjoolwa ate era mu byalo eyo amasomero agasinga tegali nnyo kumpi n'abayizi bangi bakyatambula eŋŋendo empanvu. Ogenda kikola otya mu kisanja kino Jjajja Mwami?
Now let's see how many primary schools do we have now? Government ones, if you know.
Your Excellency, we have 12,549 primary schools run by government.
12,000.
12,000, yes, sir.
Oli muzukulu amanya g'omuzukulu abadani?
Erios Namugambe.
Na?
Namugambe.
Namugambe.
Yes.
Now, Namugambe, pulani ye twatandika nayo yali okufuna essomero lya gavumenti erya primary Bulumuluka. Owulire Namugambe? Va ku byabyalo hanga aleme okudiverting, owulirize ebya Jjajja Mwami. Kati, you check the parishes. When we started, I remember the parishes were like 5,000.
When we started the UPE, the parishes which had a primary school were 6,880. We now have 12,000 primary schools. So we have like doubled the number of...
No, but how many were the parishes?
I will check that.
Yes.
Yes.
For me, I think the parishes were about 5,000. So, I think by now, all the old parishes may have already got a primary school.
We now have primary schools in 6,200 parishes.
But these are new ones.
Yeah, including the new one. All the old ones have now.
Yes.
All of them have.
Yes.
We have now exceeded all the old ones.
So, the problem is again of tough on your kudiza. Because, come to the microphone, Namugambe. So, twatandikana nkakasa nemiruka yali nga 15, I think. But we can check. And the plan was make sure there is a government primary school per parish. Abana basobole okutambula n'ebigere bagende basome bakomewo. I think now, but the local government keep increasing the parishes. But if you increase, for instance, like in our parish of Mama and myself, the one of Chikoni, we used to have one primary school somewhere there, Now they are like 4. But even if we maintained the old one, the one we had in that parish, children could have walked or cycled to the school and go back and study. But, so I will check the number and answer you properly in some of the, I think the density, because what we're talking about is the density. The density of the schools is not enough. Kati, abana abasomesa okubasasula, we are paying them better than the private schools. Do you know that? Emisala jebanyoma ya government. I think Mama would want to say something on that. Do you remember anything? She will check, but the Emisala, people like Tayewa know something about, you know about schools. Come and say something. How will they pay? The pay which these people, these teachers are looking down upon in the government schools compared to what they are paid in private. The arts teachers now, the ones who are striking.
Mzee, most of the teachers in the art schools are not even paid in the private schools. Because when we go to the village and we engage with them, especially the ones in the rural schools, they are not even paid. But now the has not been even the amount they are earning. They are only saying you have given so and so, the science much more. So we also want to take what you've given the other party. So but Mzee, most like up country, around 200,000.
But in the private schools?
Yes, in the primary schools, for private.
How much are they paid?
Around 200,000.
Nabanja, you know something?
In the private schools, Mzee, not government.
So Namugambe, guno omusala gwaffe gwe banyooma gusingira ddala kyebasasola mu private schools. And regarding the difference between the scientists and the arts, it is because we want your economy to develop. In order for the economy to develop, these roads need engineers to look after them, the engineers. The power stations need electrical engineers. The hospitals need doctors. The coffee and agriculture needs extension workers, scientists. So that's why we said, yes, I am a person of arts, literature, I am a man of literature. I can quote for you Shakespeare, what Shakespeare said and all that. But when there is a problem on the road, I can't help you. So we are saying, Banangi, let's start with the scientists, because they are fewer, but they are needed immediately. Later on we shall go to the arts. For them they say, no, if we all don't get, nobody gets. Now that's what we cannot accept. That is so much selfishness, where you say, if I don't get, nobody else gets. In the bush, we had no food. I keep telling you this. But if there was little food, we would give it to the soldier who is on duty that day. You eat more so that you don't kusumagira, and they come and kill us. Yes, I am a commander, I am senior to you, but you get more food because we need you now. Nabanja, banyonyere kucha sasola y'abasomesa aba arts mu government schools and the private ones.
Oweekitiibwa President, mu gavumenti omusomesa afuna essente entono ennyo, afuna $5,800 buli mwezi gross. Kakati mu private schools bafuna emitwalo okuva ku $20,000, abamu bafuna na 15, ate bazisasula mu bitundutundu, ate oluusi mu holidays tibabasasula. Oweekitiibwa President, waliwo abasomesa okusinziira ku budde bwe bamaze nga basomesa. Abasomesa abamu kaŋŋambe nga abaluddewo nga basomesa naddala aba head teachers bafuna wakati w'emitwalo 98 oluusi okutuuka ku million aba private. Mukama wange president watulagira okufeezinga abasomesa bano okuva 2019 baludde nga tubongezaako, si kituufu nti tetwongezangako. Ate noddamu n'olagira juuzi emabegako mu 2024 nti abantu bonna abali mu arts tubongeze omusaala okutandikira ku ba security abo twabakozeeko omwaka guno, ate omwaka oguddako 2026-2027 watugamba tubongeze ebitundu 25, then mu myaka 3 tube nga tuli mu bitundu 7. Owekitiibwa president aba arts bwe bati bwe bali, ate nga tujja kubongeza kubanga kyolagira tewali akiddamu.
So n'olwekyo those fellows are selfish. They don't tebalowooza ku nsi yaabwe, beerowooza ko bokka. That's why we cannot they should go back to work. They are very selfish. For abasirikale tubadde tufuna omusaala mitono emyaka gino gyonna, myaka 5 nze ndwana tebansasola olusi bwe bansasola katono naye nendwana ndi wano timundaba. Even now, you know how much salary I earn? Do you know Namugambe? They pay me 3.6 million. Nenjako 20% for the NRM. Mama wanasigaza ku account here 2.7 million. Nagani kuongeza omusaala kubanga nagamba sisobola kweyongeza omusaala when the abantu abakozi ba government abawansi bakyafuna ntono. So it's not salary, it is service and building our country, and then if we are still there we shall be well paid, if not our children will be well paid. Okuzimba ensi yaffe sikukayanira ebitaliiwo. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you to everybody.
So Julius Msigus has dismissed us.
Julius Mchunguzi, on behalf of the commission, thanks you for coming.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Huh? No, what's in there? Yes.
Good. How are you? Good to see you.
Of the day on UBC. Was brought
We may take our seats, please. Let's take our seats, please. And Lord Chair, I hand over to you. To proceed.
Thank you. Well, we are informed the first aspirant is here. Can we have his nomination papers presented to the chairman, who is the returning officer for presidential nominations? Can pass them over.
Writing a resume is not easy. Finding the right words, using the right examples, and formatting the results.
Ugandans, with the news, with the trends, with the developments, locally, regionally, continentally, and globally. And I'm glad to be part of the team to analyze the processes that have already begun of having presidential candidates nominated, beginning with the candidate of the NRM party, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I'm glad to be part of the team to engage and
So for the people that are watching what is happening here, the nomination paper of the aspirant is being verified by the commission. Commission is checking for the declaration of consent by the aspirant. Commission is checking for proof of minimum formal education of advanced level standard or senior 6. The commission is checking for proof of registration as a voter and for the proposer and the seconder. The commission is also checking that the right photos for purposes of the ballot paper have been attached. The commission will also be checking and is checking for compliance with Section 10 of the Presidential Elections Act, Section 10(1), Section 10, subsection Clause 3 of the Presidential Elections Act, which speaks to the proof that the aspirant submitted the required number of supporters, at least 100 from 2/3 of the districts in Uganda. The minimum of those being coming to 98 districts, and the minimum number of those supporters being 9,800. And the commission also checked to confirm that the aspirant has paid the non-refundable fee of 20 million Uganda shillings. And checking as well to see that in the checklist, there has been an appointment of the official agent. So that is what is happening for the interest of those seated here, our guests, and those that are following this exercise from wherever you are in the country and beyond. So there is a team here, as you can see, the team of the staff of the commission that are checking all those particulars as has been outlined. The big black books you see on the tables there contain all the electoral laws, all the laws that govern elections in our country are contained in those huge books you see on the table of the commission. They are like the Bible or the Quran for elections in this country.
We have checked and verified the aspirants' papers as presented, and we find them in order. That he has fulfilled all the requirements as stipulated in the Presidential Elections Act. Therefore, I, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Museveni Yoweri Tuhaburwa Kaguta a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026, he having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179.
Slow melting, smooth coating, long lasting. Taste the that wins. Buy any two participating Cadbury products. Scan the QR code or send a WhatsApp for a chance to win your share of 15 million shillings in amazing prizes. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone. T's and C's apply.
The NRM structures need to come out and help expose crime and hold accountable all the criminals. And then getting rid of corruption. These ones will help all our people to enjoy the transformation going on in Uganda. It's not good for the middle class to do well, as you can see, because all these people who have built these houses here, you can see from far beyond Webaja, areas which were bush are now high-value properties. They are owned by some people, the middle class. But we want the wananchi, all the wananchi, to benefit. So this is the double mission in the coming Kisanja. Continue empowering the middle class, the investors, whether local or from outside, but make sure that the masses are all involved. I thank you. We shall say more as we go along. I thank you, and I wish everybody good luck.
At your discretion, you may wish to take some questions, if you may. Yes, you come here.
5 questions.
Thank you. So you You say your media house?
Or to be fair, 6. 3 for boys, 3 for girls.
Thank you. Mr. Kaya, straight to the point. You say your name, your media house, and straight to the point with one question.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Tera Kaya is my name. Kulwaba piza ntiboka nchibuze mu Luganda. Your Excellency, mu myaka gino waliwo abantu bangi abakyagobwa ku ttaka naddala abakadde babakoonedde amayumba. Waliwo ne Mukono eyo eyali omulwanyi wo Musa Mwanje, family eri displaced. Ensonga y'ettaka naddala mu Buganda ogenda gitunulira otya?
Ensonga y'ettaka faba NRM twagikolokodda musiye n'omuteeka erifuga ettaka eryajja luvannyuma twalemerawo ne tugamba nti ow'ekibanja talina kugobebwa ate obusuulu bulina okubeera kw'ekikomo. Kati abo bonna bye bakola bimenya amateeka. Awo wenenyeza ba RDCs bange tebandikiriza ekyo kubeerawo kubanga ebiragiro tebikiriza omuntu yenna kugoba ow'ekibanja oba okumutemako ekibanja ekyo. Olusalo olwo twaluwangula dda mu biragiro. Soma ebiragiro bamwita Kaya, osome ebiragiro by'ettaka olabe ow'ettaka takkirizibwa kugoba ow'ekibanja. Babikola mu bumenyi bw'amateeka. And because kati kyemukola mulonde ababaka ba NRM kubanga abo abasirikire bya mbiyoni ebyo buwekenenya ogenda kusanga bano bemwaleeta abalala abali ku byabwe. Ate ne bwe twali tulwana mu by'ettaka baali batuwakanya, baali tebaagala kulwana kuwa ekibanja, ffe tulemera kuwa ekibanja. Soma ekiragiro ky'ettaka nga bwekiri, tekikiriza. Tokkirizibwa kugoba w'ekibanja, tokkirizibwa kumutemako ekitundu ky'ekibanja kye, ate obusuulu buliko ekikomo. Ate government Minister of Lands yabukiriza si bw'amaanyi. Ab'amataka b'e mu Lugonyoro ne bagamba nti siringi 10,000 lwokka olwaliwo mu budde obwo nti tulina amakulu. Ne mbagamba nti temulaba abaserikale bankubira salute eriko sente meka. Obusuulu obwo salute yokka nti sebe nkutegedde. Olusalo olwo twalwana ne tulwangula.